I am Jude Hotep, the goddess astrologer and alchemical initiatrix. It's official. I do not like the Starbucks anymore. I just went to this new Starbucks because there's like 87 of them here in this city that I'm at. And if you are familiar with me, you know I've been traveling permanently, not permanently, but permanently, temporarily. So I'm kind of a perma traveling situation for a good chunk of time, and just facing my fears in life, facing just wanting to travel and all the reasons why not. And then pull some cards. We're going to get into the astrology for this weekend. It's really, really powerful. So I'm going to look at the chart for today and look at how many quintiles and biquintiles there are. These are metaphysical aspects that help us be creative, help us problem solve from a really creative place. They can go awry too. Everything's that shadow and light, but it's really about being really looking at problems from a different angle. There's 1,000 doors to open, so opening those doors. Jupiter and Aries is allowing us to believe that we can have the life that we want. But for many of us that have been doing this work, it's coming on the heels of deep healing and deep transformation. Expanding Jupiter is expanding Aries, like the belief that in the underdog can rise, that you can change your stars, that you are not fixed into the life you were born in, whether that be money or relationships or the dysfunction or the karmic storylines. And adventurous Jupiter is an adventurous Aries. It's like this adventure of the perspective that you take with life. And it's in this independence, expanding an adventurous Jupiter is in this independent Aries, wanting to have the life that it wants to have, believing it can make it happen, and then going and taking that initiation, that action, Aries, to do it, and really being in that happy place with it. This Aries is in this sextile to Mercury. So Jupiter and Mercury in the sextile, ever since Wednesday, so much has probably shifted for you this week. The energies have shifted. Understanding has come in. Understanding Jupiter, the understander. Jupiter wants to understand things, wants to know. And there has been understanding that's come in. This Mercury retrograde is nothing to be scared of. It's powerful. It's allowing you to reflect on your life, to Jupiter understand what has transpired, to then Aries, Jupiter and Aries go forward, believing that you can create the life that you want, believing that you can make this project a success, that you can step into the higher visibility, the next level of visibility in your business, step into the deeper part of your divine feminine, what was holding you back, what was limiting you, and to step into that deeper aspect of your divine feminine and to be in the romance of life, be in that deep, beautiful energy of life. And with Uranus and Taurus now at 15 degrees, independent Uranus, innovative Uranus, brazen, the awakener, is awakening our understanding of Taurus abundance. It's awakening our understanding of abundance and the true understanding of that. So this Mercury retrograde is allowing you to reflect through everything you've been through since January, but everything you've been through, particularly in the last few years, to go back and mine it for all of the learning, the lessons, how you've changed, how you've grown, what you've let go of, the old karmic stories that are no longer there, the old timelines that are not a part of your life anymore. So look and acknowledge everything you've done in your life, everywhere you've grown, everywhere you stepped in and were courageous and bold, and everywhere you did things differently than the overculture or what other people project on you as the way to do things. Doing it at your own pace, your own speed, in a divine feminine, non-linear way that is not the way of the masculine, that's not this penetrating or this striving. Everywhere where you let go of striving and you allowed for an unfolding and an emerging of what life newly was to be. This moon here is in Scorpio today, Saturday, and moving towards the North Node. which it'll pass over the North Node. So it's going to give you a lot of information about the past. It's going to want to cut away from those old timelines, those old storylines, those places inside of you where you broke down, those places inside of you where you felt sadnesses, where you felt losses, where you felt incapable, where you felt like life couldn't be what you dreamed it could be, that you felt like you really couldn't create what you wanted, even though you were working so hard at it. It's going to allow you to look at the places where you did not put boundaries into place and where you did, and where you were successful at it, and where people may have left, where you have massive transformations. It's going to cut away relationships that aren't serving you. It's going to cut away jobs that aren't serving you. It's going to cut away work and projects. There are things ending if you have not already seen the evidence of that already. And those things, don't hold on to them because they're not allowing you to grow. Pluto wants you to grow. It cuts away everything that doesn't allow you to grow. It wants you to grow. It wants you to evolve, but for the greater good of humanity as a whole. And of course, we're all connected technically, you know, in one, but we have like our soul tribe. And this is also about people, because it's about the people, because it's square. It is square Saturn in Aquarius, about people. Aquarius is the sign of the human, the water bearer. And so it's like, where are there relationships that you are holding on to that are not giving you the satisfaction, the connection, the love that you're putting into it? Where are there relationships that you're trying to make it be something that it's not going to be? And when you let go, seeing how you can just allow people to be the people they are, and allow yourself to be who you are, and allow that to bloom. Also, if you're feeling this deep disconnection from your sacred calling, from something that just is so fascinating, so interesting, that you get engrossed in it, it holds your attention, it's so calling you and wanting you to be a part of it and to do nothing and to just be so immersed in your work and your sacred calling and something and your interest and your bliss and the things that give you real bliss, that give you real happiness, that make you feel like you're doing something important in the world, that you're connected to something that matters and to something that's sacred and wild and fun and interesting. Wherever that's not clicking and lining up, that's what this moon is, this full moon eclipse in Scorpio is here to help you, like, go to the bottom of the oil barrel to dig up like the things that are in the way of you connecting to that, and to help you also to cut away what is holding you back from your bliss and from the greater love and the greater satisfaction and being happier, being more connected in to what's important within you, that are your unique gifts, that no one, that like humans don't understand, that there's so much untapped potential. There's so much untapped gifts that humanity has not brought forth because everybody's trying to conform and be like everybody else. And while Aquarius shadow is conforming, Saturn is here titrating Aquarius, titrating that Uranus energy of unpredictability and of disconnection, and saying connect to what is of the highest frequency, to what you love, because it's a square to the North Node, our destiny, what we're building and growing for 5D life, for the life that makes sense, that you are actually doing what your energy day to day allows you to do, not what work says or money says you're supposed to do, but what your energy actually allows you to do. But you have so much more life energy when you're connected to something of soul, of heart, of spirit, that you're so engrossed in. And so if you're not connected to that, if there's something missing there, go into the bottom of the oil barrel, face the emotions. Emotions seem scary when we don't have the skills, when we have not done that work. And that's what we do in Alchemical Goddess. It's because you get great gifts when you start to handle your emotions and you start to work with them and master them and develop emotional skill set. You actually get great gifts and you retrieve power that you've lost all along your lifetime, that you don't have to make big things happen in the world, that you will retrieve and reclaim, that you will get back. So it's powerful. And this Scorpio moon is emotional. There's so many emotions happening, so many. And with Jupiter and Aries, Aries is kind of is like taking away all of the Jupiter emotions and saying like, let's focus in on what's the most important, on what the mission is. Let's take action. Let's get on it. Let's have some fun. And Mercury's reflecting on all the growth and all the reasons that you've learned and grown, and how you've changed, and the energy you put forth, and like asking you to acknowledge that, so that you understand the worth and value that you bring, this Taurus North Node. And Uranus has helped us for a long time to be cutting ties to attachments to the way we thought life should be. And Chiron and Aries, with now Venus conjuncting Chiron, there's this like, Venus is like what we attract into our lives, like what we deeply, passionately want to feel happy, to feel good, to like touch, taste, and smell. And it's conjunct Chiron. So it's like the wound of what we thought life would be, and to let go of that, to actually accept where we are, to say, I can create something powerful in my life, Jupiter and Aries. And this is just massive, powerful energy. And with Mars conjuncting Neptune, there can be this disbursement of anything that really isn't on, like, connected to your soul, connecting to something meaningful, connecting to something that lights you up, that's part of your bliss, that's part of the imagination, the vision. And so if it is like drugs and alcohol and partying and escapism, it will lead you down really dark emotions, and it's gonna be miserable, and it's just not gonna feel positive. And then Sunday, you know, we have the moon that will pass over this south node, and so it's going to be reflecting on the path. It's going to be looking at so many areas of our life. There could be a lot of emotions coming up and churning out. There could be just so much coming forward, from looking at everywhere you've grown to like deep dark emotions that want to just arise to release. And then we have this eclipse that's going to be cutting away what's not on the destiny, where the sun's in Taurus at 25 degrees. It's like whatever is not meant to go forward in your life at this time in life can be cut away. Do ceremony, release, allow whatever's unfolding for you and emerging for you to emerge. The uncomfortable feelings, be with them, allow them to be there, because this is the time to do this inner work, because inner work produces outer results. Inner work seems like people often resist, but inner work is what produces your outer results, the soulmate relationships, the money that you want, the next level of your visibility, and being able to speak your voice, to do something really innovative and creative, and to live a life that lights you up. Most people want to get to the destination, like, when I have $1 million, then I'll feel great. But it's like, what they don't understand is like, you may have to maintain $1 million, then you have to keep making $1 million, then what are all the things you're doing to make that million? If none of that's happy, if that lifestyle isn't a beautiful lifestyle that's lighting your heart on fire, and that you're just so excited about, and you're really living the amazing life on the way up to the million doesn't matter, and it's not going to be joyful. So it's like really deciding on the lifestyle that you want and living it right now, every step of the way, to not the destination, but a bigger vision of you being a light goddess and making this massive spiritual impact on the world. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. So there's something more to do here in life, and it takes the healing to be able to connect to something that's so joyful, that calls you in, that you can get so engrossed in. What cards want to come forward for a spirit? So, dear spirit, to be gentle on yourself. You're being too hard on yourself. You're pushing and striving and really wanting to move forward with like a masculine energy and an old style energy, instead of really being in that energy that is compassionate towards you. You know, Mars is in a compassionate sign right now. It's compassionate action. It's like taking actions that honor your soul, honor your energy levels, honor your divine feminine and the needs she has, honor like being deeply resourced and connected and grounded. We have Stag spirit, which is taking the lead, that you're not feeling like you can take the lead in your life, that you can take that place of power, that place of authority in your business, with your audience and in your own self, that you're listening to other people's voices, outside voice, you're listening to other people's authority instead of stepping into your own. So like, what's the hindrance to that? Like, why are you listening to other people's voices? I'm going to pull a card on that. Truth transcends illusion. So there's some illusions that it's good, that it's right, that you're going to do wrong if you don't go by what they say, that you don't trust your own truth, your own divine feminine wisdom and knowing and power within yourself. And part of that is just going through the phases of testing it out and doing it and seeing the results that you get, and having to, like, sometimes we often have to heal how we feel wrong for doing what we need to do, like buying great food when you feel like the money you have can't afford that, but can't afford that's a thought. And it's like, you deserve to have really great healthy food. And like, are you not actually honoring yourself and telling the universe what you want, what you deserve, and what should be in your life, if you're not going ahead and buying the great healthy food that you need and telling the universe that more needs to show up, that more abundance needs to come in? And we have Lion Spirit also in reverse. Chester Rabbit got a hold of this card, and he approves. And it's be generous of spirit, Lion Spirit. It's like, be in the heart. And so you're too much in the head. There's this too much mental, mind dominant energy, worrying, figuring, weighing out, coming off that Libra moon that could have caused a lot of that. And it could be that there's just, when you need to release the emotions. And so why is there too much not in the heart? I pulled, because you're afraid of abundance, afraid of money and not having enough. So the being in that scarcity mentality, when you let go and trust spirit and trust the universe, we've had too much happen. There's been lines cut off in the astrology of too much happen, that the abundance is here for you. 5D is abundance consciousness. It's a consciousness. It's a way of being. You have to remember that money is an energy. It's an exchange of value. It's not the destination. And when you focus on that, you can shift, you can track, and you can track everything that wants to flow into your life. And that fear doesn't allow you to live joyously on the way to money and more money and happy and healthy and enjoying life. And so it's like it's driving you into your mind. And so it's getting you out of your heart. You want to go back into your heart and do some creativity, whether it's drawing, making a dream board, for the fun and creativity of it, for the dreaming of it, for the imagination, for the stretching your intuitive side of your brain, the heart side, the creativity, the energy. Like dream, like Lizard Spirit is wanting you to dream and imagine and visualize and play and have fun and be in that creative, love, romantic space. Sweet results await with Bee Spirit, that we must take aligned action, but we must set the intention, understanding that intention is not just this airy-fairy manifestation thing. Intention is power. When 8 people get together, which is what Lynn McTaggart's work has proven time and time again, and she's been studying the field, and she did a documentary and a book, and it's deeply scientific. If you lean that way, that you like to have the scientific, understandings of it, can be kind of dry, but what she's discovered is that the power of 8 of people get together with this intention, where setting an intention is that you set the intention like a target where you're going to shoot arrows at it, and then you set it down, and then you just let it go while you shoot arrows. And of course, practicing shooting arrows, practicing shooting the bullseye, you're practicing, you're honing, you're learning about the wind, you're learning about arrows and how to make them better and straighter and how to pull back. And so apply that to your business, apply that to what you do to make money in life. You're learning all of these intrinsic skills and building and learning marketing. And the more you can flow, release, relax, and allow spirit to co-create with you, to guide you, to be movable, to send you where you need to go, to meet the client, to do what you need to do. And you can get into an astrology reading, and we can look at your money, we can look at where Saturn is in your chart, look at your second house, and look at what's going on with your Taurus energy and your sun, and see if you're living your truth and your vitality, which automatically magnetizes money to you. Spider Spirit, like, make your dreams real, meaning create, be in the imagination, bring them out of your head and onto paper, onto video, onto doing it. Like, believe in your dreams. And this Jupiter and Aries is giving us that energy and that belief. Clear your energy, clear your field, get grounded, get happy, exercise, be in nature, spend time with animals, connect to friends, laugh as much as possible. A rebirth is assured. We have Bat Spirit, which is all about the Scorpio full moon is allowing us to go through a cyclical renewal. So it can feel like a dark phase. It can feel like the sun's not out while you're in this incubation, while you're in this phase of going through, you know, the death before the rebirth, before the transformation. Remember that the phoenix rises out of ashes. You know, everything's burned down. It doesn't rise out of a garden. And we have Seahorse Spirit in reverse, which is about watching and waiting. And it's saying to the watching and waiting is about understanding when to take action, that it comes from flow, intuition, spirit moving you. And I mean action as in like that frantic, urgent action is not going to help you in your business. But aligned action that comes from your divine feminine intuition and flow and spirit, that is what's going to move you forward and be so powerful. And so it's like waiting for, not waiting, like it's not telling you to wait to take action. It's telling you to wait to be in that frantic, striving, masculine energy and in the minds. It's telling you to sink into your heart. Everything this reading is asking you to sink into your heart and take steady steps in that happiness, in that play, in that joy. I think there's a lot here saying that you're in the dark moon phase. And, you know, if you listen to the podcast, that's what we talk about in the podcast. There's so many episodes. I've just done an embodied startup episode called the dark moon phase. You can go back and listen to that. You can go back and listen to any of the episodes. I talk about the dark moon phase a lot, about cyclical renewal, that we're not taught that in the overculture, in the matrix world, but that it's a natural part of our life and our evolution, from the biggest, most macro levels to the micro, everyday energetic levels, that you go through cyclical renewal in a day where your energy goes up, peaks, come down, goes through a valley, peaks, and it goes like that several times a day. You go through these peaks and valleys of your natural energy flow. So a lot of people go for the caffeine when it's like, just take the rest and have a little meditation or have a little walk or pet the dog and let yourself have that natural rest time where your creative energy is rejuvenating, going through that dark moon, that fertile fallow, that potentiality, kinetic energy phase where your energy will naturally come back up and want to get creative and sassy and writing and playing and creating again. So allow yourself to be in this maybe 3-day period of the dark moon, as that moon is deep in the plutonic energy of Scorpio, death and rebirth, and down in the bottom of the oil barrel and digging and going through the shadows and the subconscious things from this life and the challenges you've been through, and allow it to be. It's okay to be in that dark moon phase. It's really beautiful, really powerful. And you move through it to the other side, which is monumental blessings and gifts and magic that comes. I'm sending you so much love for this weekend. Please listen to the Light Goddess podcast, because there's so much there to help you raise your frequency, to get insights, and on the spiritual journey as a female spiritualpreneur, soulpreneur on sacred mission, doing massive things in this world, bringing divine feminine light to this planet. You can book an astrology reading at thegoddessastrologer.com. Working with your chart and getting to know it is like, you know, having your map, having your canteen when you're in the desert. It is massively transformational to understand why you should love everything about who you are and your experiences and what you've gone through in life and what you're here to create on this planet, and to bring to us the unique magic, the unique medicine, the balm for the world that you're meant to bring. So you can book that at thegoddessastrologer.com. If you'd like to inquire about Alchemical Goddess, my coaching program, you can do that on the Goddess Astrologer as well. I will talk to you on the next daily on Monday, and the sun sign horoscopes are every Monday on the Light Goddess podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast, to the YouTube channel rather, and please like it. Please share it with your friends, let other women know about it so they can find it and get this useful information. Sending you so much love.